The relentless traffic, the horns, the train street, the crowded cafes. It's loud, it's fast, and the energy never stops. This is the Hanoi you probably know. But if you think this concrete grid is all the city has to offer, you are missing the bigger pictures. Today, we're escaping the noise. We are heading 60 kilometers west to show you a completely different attitude of Hanoi. We are entering Bao Thien National Park, spanning over 10,000 hectares across Hanoi and Hoa Binh. It isn't just a forest. Geologically speaking, we are riding up the spine of an ancient volcano that had last erupted roughly 200 million years ago. Heading west towards the mountains, the roads take us directly through Son Tay. We made a quick pit stop here because historically and geographically, you cannot fully understand Hanoi without looking at its outer defenses. This is a Son Tay Ancient Citadel, built in 1822 under the Nguyen dynasty. This structure was built for royal Aztec. It's a strict functional military installation. For over a century, this 16-hectare square was ultimate iron shield protecting the capital from the west. From a structural standpoint, it's a masterpiece of local engineering. Instead of standard bricks, the entire fortress is constructed from the laterite stone, known locally as Thuong. It's highly durable, porous rock native to this exact region. If you get your lens right up to the walls, you can capture that broad, brutalist texture. Surrounded by 20 meters wide moat and centered around 18 meters observation flag towers, it remains the best preserved 19th century technical citadel in northern Vietnam. It's a heavy piece of history. But our main target is still further up the elevation. Let's get back on the road and hit the mountain. The first order of business, getting our ticket and keep the logistic brief. A standard adult ticket is 60,000 dongs, which is roughly $2.5 US. If you're a student and have your ID on you, it's dropped to 20,000. It's cheap, fast, and straightforward. As we push up this winning sweet batch, take a look at the dense green bushes lining both sides of the road. If you time the trip for this November, this exact stretch explodes into the massive tunnel of bright yellow. Those are Bao Thien's famous white sunflowers. But here's the reality of traveling. Timing is everything. We're here in late April. We missed the yellow bloom. But we get the ultimate trade-off. Clear road, zero traffic jams, and we don't have to fight crowds for photos. We have the mountain to ourselves. We just hit the pine forest at 400 meters mark. The first thing you notice right now isn't a visual, it's physical. The temperature has already dropped by at least 4 or 5 degrees compared to the city. This specific area was planted decades ago. The soil here is covered in thick layers of dry pine leaves, making this a primary camping zone for local escaping Hanoi's heat on the weekend. It's quiet, it's practical, it functions as the perfect base camp before the real climb begins. Take a moment to just listen to the wind moving through these trees. While exploring the 800 meters mark, you might stumble across the overgrown stone foundations. Most people walk right past them, but the history buried here is intense. Back in 1940, a Frenchman named R. Posset decided to build a massive summer camp here for the French and Vietnamese youth. But let's look at the logistics of building a complex at this altitude in the early 40s. There were no road to make this happen. Over 200 prisoners were brought up from Hanoi. They spent months using dynamite to cut the path, and were then forced to physically carry over 400 tons of building materials on their back up these exact slopes. It's a brutal reality behind the construction. We were pushed up to 800 meters mark, and the environment here changed dramatically. Tucked away deep inside this jungle is the ruined church. The French built this structure back in the 1940s. At that time, they were turning Bao Thien into the high-altitude alpine resort to escape the brutal summer heat of the delta. But look at it now. The roof collapsed decades ago, and the jungle will waste absolutely no time reclaiming its territory. What's fascinating isn't just the history, it's the physical state of it. These thick silverstone walls and the European architectural motifs are still standing, completely exposed to the elements. It's a very raw, visual collision between human ambition and the sheer force of nature. If you're pulling out the camera here, use the hollowed-out stone archway to frame your shot. The contrast between the cold, decaying stone and the aggressive green vines give you incredible texture on the screen. This place is so famous with the cloud hunting spot, and as you can see, these are zero clouds below us. This is it. We've hit the 1,100 meters mark. This is the end of the line for any wheels. From here on out, it's strictly foot traffic. A face with a finger to the lips. As we move higher toward the sacred temples, the mountain is asking for one thing: silence. We took the path to the right, more than 500 steep stone steps to reach the upper temples. It's a physical grind, but geographically and culturally, there is a strict logic to why this place all the way up here. The air is thinner, the silence is heavier, and you have a completely uninterrupted command of the landscape below. The physical grind of those 500 steps, that was just the price of admission for this perspective. This temple is dedicated to Thuong, the mountain god. In Vietnamese mythology, he is the absolute apex, the protector against the floods and natural disasters. Think back to that view of the Dai and Red River we just saw below. The ancients built his shrine at the highest possible point so it could oversee and control the water network of this entire delta. It's not just religion, it's the reflection of how early civilization dealt with the forces of nature. Pushing a bit higher past the upper temple, you'll find a much quieter, more isolated shrine. This belongs to Mẫu Cửu Trùng Thiên, the mother goddess of 9 heavens. The exact origin of this specific structure are completely undocumented, kept alive purely by local merchants and folklorists. But if you're getting a tight shot of the altar, pay close attention to her crown. Notice she isn't wearing the flat-top hat standard for earthly emperors. Earthly kings are considered sons of heaven. She doesn't need that hat because she rules heaven itself. Instead, she wears a phoenix crown. It's a brilliant piece of visual hierarchy carved right into the statue. It's a small detail, but these are the things you miss if you just rush to the peak. Alright, let's keep moving. To get to Angkor Wat's temple, we had to drop back to the 1,100 meter mark and take the left path. We are now getting up to Vua Peak, or the King Peak, the absolute highest point of Bao Thien, 1,296 meters. It's a grueling 1,320 steps. But notice the immediate shift of the environment. The ecosystem of this side of the mountain is completely different. It's far more humid. We are walking through the ancient forest now. Thick moss covering the stone, massive tree roots breaking through the path, and dense fern. The air feels visibly heavier and older here compared to the other peak. It's really long. It's a long way to get up here. I feel exhausted. Yeah, I guess about more than 1,000 steps to get up to the top. Just before the final push to King Peak, the pass opens up to the Bao Thien Tower. Unlike the ancient ruins we saw lower down, this is a modern addition, completed in 2010 to mark Hanoi 1000th anniversary. It's a 13-story vertical drop standing nearly 27 meters high, topped with a massive bronze guard. Don't just look at the height, look at the perimeter. The base is locked down by 88 statues and 8 vulture guardians facing all 8 compass directions. It's an impressive piece of symmetry against the white jungle, but we aren't stopping. The absolute summit is right above us. Let's finish the climb. We've reached the summit. This is Uncle Ho's temple. In his original testament, Ho Chi Minh expressed his design for his ash to be placed on 3 hills across the north, central, and south of Vietnam. While he ultimately rests in the mausoleum down in Hanoi, this temple was built in 1999 to symbolically fulfill that wish for the northern region. Placing it here, on the highest peak of Bao Thien, overlooking the entire Red River Delta, is a highly intentional, commanding tribute. The geography itself amplifies the respect. If you're traveling to Hanoi, the old quote is great, but don't let it be your only perspective. You have to get out here and feel the actual geography of the north. Hit subscribe if this helped you plan the trip. Drop a comment if you have any question about the climb, and I'll catch you guys on the next run.